Today's lesson is about containers. And it's very hard to learn containers without knowing CSS. So today I'm going to be talking about containers and why we need to use containers and how it's going to be used. Some information, I'm going to give you some, or the purpose of today's lesson is just to give you some information but about containers. But the real containers and how it works exactly and how we completely understand it is we're going to do this when we start doing CSS. But again, as I told you, just some information about containers. Now let's first know what is meant by containers. As you look on the picture here, is containers. When you go to any one of the big huge cities like for example, this picture is from the ports of Los Angeles, California. Big cities on the ocean like Houston, Texas, they have a big port. Also San Francisco and Baltimore. So every time you go to any ports of these big ports, you're going to see all these containers and these colors, different colors. Like this blue containers, maybe it contains book supplies. The red one, maybe it contains clothes, and this one contains electronic devices and so on. So the main purpose of container is to collect related items that's related somehow and put it somewhere. In the same exact sense we do this, but in HTML, when we use containers, we use containers to contain tag elements and codes. What did that mean? So in HTML we use the div element to contain some other elements. So for example, if you look at this one, you say we have div and then we have div. So let me put it over here. Let me start. I'm going to put div here. I'm going to div, and it's open tag and closing tag, and between the open and close tag we're going to list, you can list some other tag elements. Like for example, I'm going to put the h1 tag, and the h1 tag we're going to have the title and the the website. The title is the website, okay, and then after that I have another one. Let's say I'm going to have h2 or a subtitle h3, and I'm going to call I'm have an x in the h3 subtitle programming. And then you can have an image, you can have paragraphs. So let me put a paragraph here, and in this paragraph I'm going to say hello world. So we have here a container, which is a div. We're using the div element in HTML to represent containers, and in that div or division I'm having three tags inside. So you can the reason we're doing this, doing containers in HTML, is to collect related items somehow in a section or in a division. Because if you leave it like that without having containers, you're going to have a bunch of tags like h1np and image and video, and you're going to use it over and over and over and over. It's going to be everywhere. So it's going to be much easier for the programmer or for the one who's designing the website, even for search engine. Basically, when you're doing this for search engine, to figure out and to find out something. So you might have containers for a header, and another container for the nav bar, another container for the main content, another container for the sidebar, another container for the footer. So it makes it so easy for you as a designer and as a website programmer. You put like you look here, we have in the container for the header, we have some titles and subtitles in the paragraph and the images, and you have another one for the nav bar that has a list for the menu bar, the home, the product. As we talked about list last lesson. So it's so easy to do that, and it's so easy to make it easy actually for you and for your clients. But the main thing, actually we're doing this for search engine. And the good news is in HTML5 they start creating something rather than using because containers, you will have so many div elements in the, and it's sometimes it's very confusing, or at least you have to put a use the attribute name or ID for every div to do it. Like I can put here, I can come here and say name, and I would say here I will call it header. So, and then I have another division for footer and another division. But the good thing about HTML5, they start creating something called semantic elements that do this for us. Like, so in HTML5, you can use header to represent the header tag, the header division, and footer to represent. So I can do the same exact thing here. Rather than putting div, I'm going to put here, say, header. And you notice, oh no, that's not header, okay? And you will notice here, we'll add here ER also. So that is header. So here I have a header, and in that header, I'm going to put the same exact code here that I have. I'm going to cut and paste, or just I'll copy. I will copy it. I'll put it in the header. So what you see here in the div is exactly the same as what you see in the header. But it's much easier for the search engine to find the header. It's much easier for the search engine to find the header without any name attribute, for the footer without any name attribute for when it says footer, when it says this. So in HTML5 we have so many semantic elements, like we have header, we have a division for div for header and a div for nav. Nav stands for navigation bar, and main for the main area on the main content, and sections and article and aside and footer. So in HTML5 it makes it much easier for us to know, you can differentiate things from other things, to specify things. So that's good about using actually container. So if we look at here, let's say, let me show you something. Let me go here and go live, and you notice here the website is the same exact. See here the two things, the website, the programming, and hello world here. And then again it's repeated here with the header. So it's this is a division. The first 3 lines is a division, and the second 3 lines is a division. So it's exactly the same. But as I told you at the beginning, it's going to be much easier with the CSS when we learn CSS, because we'll start using the background colors and some other stuff to make it easy, so you will be able to know which division is the header and which division is the footer by different colors. Anyway, that's all what I want you to know today about containers, and in next lesson we're going to be talking about links. So we'll see you then.